What's good, everybody? What's good? What's good? This is Ben and Chris. I am podcast coming through to you. You want to do just a quick little review, talk about the I am podcast. We like doing our little Thursday reviews, having some dialogue and whatnot. So happy to be out here with y'all and just having a good discussion. Chris, how your week been, sir?
It's been good, man. It's been good. It's good to see you too, brother. Always. But yeah, it was good this week. It was
always.
Got through it. Friday tomorrow.
Hey, man, and I tell you, it's been a crazy week for me, but it actually been a incredibly enlightening week for me. Because I kind of went back to something that I had posted a while ago about what the number 23 means. And one of the things that it means is new beginnings. And what's so amazing to me right now is that I'm about to start a new beginning in my professional career. I'm about to start to launch into my own personal business and whatnot. So so I'm like getting into to that part of I'm getting to reenact myself, man, and that to me is like the most most beautiful thing. I mean, getting out there and starting my own business and whatnot. So it's been wonderful.
This year's afforded us. I know from the November to the end of the year, I said it's critical that we observe connections that we make, and so I think that as we transition from 2022 into 2023, it was just like eye-opening and also bringing a lot of clarity. Yeah, a lot of clarity.
Yeah, and it's funny that you say that because everything this year that I have started to do, it was like a blurry thought prior to this year. And it's been a fleeting thought in my brain before, and now it's like every time I see it, it is clear. The scripture says, "Write the vision and make it plain." Right. I wrote down, I see it all the way through, and it's like everything that I'm getting ready to do, I'm stepping into it, full throttle, and it's just the most wonderful thing. When you do right by the Spirit, Spirit does right by you.
Definitely.
All right, so I want to get into just kind of some of our thoughts that we put out there, read some of the comments that we got back, and really, really kind of just have a quick little discussion about that. Not that long, just want to talk to you. So first discussion we talked about that we put out there was, what is your definition of love? And some of the folk put some wonderful dialogue out there, and I just want to kind of touch on some of the things that was said. Adrian, on the bad one, she told us, she said, love is soft, it's kind, it's thoughtful, it's honest, it's pure, it's patient, and it's intentional. And that kind of touched me with the intentional piece. I really like when she said that intentional piece, because to me, when you operate in love, every move you make is intentional. To me, I think about every single solitary thing that I do when I love someone. I'm thinking, you told me something 3 months ago about ice cream, and I'm remembering it, and I'm processing it, and I'm intending to do something to get this ice cream that you wanted at a time that you're not even thinking about it. So I love that, and the patience, that's one of the fruits of the Spirit, honesty, pure. I really like that way that she described love. What was your thoughts on that?
I like it. I really do, because honestly, we say love, and it's it's lightweight. Love is lightweight. It's just easy going. It knows its potency, yet it also knows that it can be offensive, and so it does not intrude. And if you look at the personification of love, which is actually, if we're going to refer to Corinthians, it's the Spirit, the Spirit of God. The attributes are defined there. It's man, that's what we should ascribe to be. Yeah. It's powerful.
Right.
And it's above us.
Indeed. Candace, she had responded. She said accountability and consistency.
Okay.
Accountability and consistency. What do you think about that?
I think that with love being considerate of others, that consideration now, leads off into accountability and consistency. So yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, so for myself, like in my definition, as I define love, self accountability is
Gotcha.
Like you cannot be a person who considers to love someone else if you're not accountable to yourself first and foremost, and like being accountable to yourself to be your better self. Being accountable to not be comfortable because you're in a relationship.
Right.
But every day I'm becoming a better version of myself, because as I become better of myself, I become better to you. I'm also accountable to your feelings and to your wants and to your needs and to your desires. But the more that I'm accountable to me, it opens me up to be accountable to you. So I love, that's part of my definition, self-accountability.
Yeah.
So
And
the consistency piece, you don't love somebody for a day or for a season. Like it's minute by minute, hour by hour,
Yeah. Yeah. So what else did anybody else say?
So Sharon said 1 Corinthians 13.
Okay.
And so, for someone who doesn't know that scripture, let me pull it up real quick, because it is a powerful scripture that says, love is patient, love is kind, it does not envy, does not boast, it is not proud, it does not dishonor others, it is not self-seeking, it is not easily angered, it keeps no record of wrong. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. It never fails. Love. And I mean, that's all encompassing. I mean, that's everything.
Yeah.
I think that a lot of times, especially when we start to really consider ourselves in relationship and we try to use the scripture as our background, you have to make sure that you not just read the scriptures, but you read it for understanding. And so that when you really understand that, when you say love perseveres, you know that you're going to be travailing through certain tests and trials in a relationship, but love is able to overcome that. Love does not boast, so we don't act proud in a relationship. Love does not seek to anger and to upset. So like, if we want to say that that's our vision of love in a relationship, you better know what that truly means, because a lot of times we're talking about, God is ahead of our relationship, or, God is in charge, but the word tells you how to operate. So if God is in charge, you need to come back to what he says about how we should operate.
What clouds that often is life experiences. There is at the core of our existence, the God consciousness, but their life experience, those human experiences, jade that picture. They make it cloudy. So now we have to, I think when it comes to relationship, and we will move into marriage if that's the case, each person should have their personal conviction that they are seeking to arise to that level of love, not bringing that level of love down to them. Because as I elevate in that level of love, I begin to realize that it is actually the Most High loving the person of his affection through me. You follow me? So it behooves me to make sure that my life force, my spirit and soul is clear, and I constantly look to seek how I can purge myself so more of his love can flow through me toward others.
Love it. Erin Lopez, she said that the word love does not have one size fit all definition. Depending on the context, love can hold a new, more extreme meaning. It's also rather relative from person to person. But she said it's lost a bit of its weight over time. People use it too loosely or merely don't know what it means.
That's intense. I like that. That's good. That's good. What's her name again?
Erin Lopez.
Please forgive me. I'm assuming that was a female.
Yes.
Okay, man. That was a great. Ooh, I like that.
Man.
But that's over time.
Over time, it is the boy who cried wolf. Like we just throw love out there so regularly, like, oh, I love. Like, because if you really love, how do you just so easily not love anymore?
Well, again, love is a being. So when I become love, then the energy of love flows through me, and it's not my human experiences that I live by. I now love be above my human experiences from a safe place. Remember, perfect love eradicates all fear. So I'm not afraid, because if I am that love that I take on, guess what? I know I'm not afraid. Rejection can't hurt me.
So let's stay there for a second, because that, as you're saying that, I'm sitting there thinking about how many times, like I can remember coming out of my previous relationship, how I would say to myself that I was afraid to love again. I was afraid to be hurt. I was afraid of, the rejection. I was afraid of, all of the consequences of being in a bad relationship. And so I was initially saying, I'm going to protect myself from love. But if you're actually operating on that love frequency, then love is actually going to protect you. You being in that frequency is going to protect you from being hurt. Because you're not operating in your man and your flesh. You operate on a godly frequency, on a higher frequency, Christ frequency, and that's going to protect you. It's us, it's our man-made thoughts and processes that are actually hurt. But the more you stay in love, the more that you are protected by the man's frequency.
I love it. Yeah.
Betty Francis said, God sacrificed for us, and that's what we call love. God is love is the blueprint for how to love others. God's love is the blueprint for how to love others. Leela said, in my opinion, love is the action of concern and care demonstrated towards someone who is not deserving of anything from you. It goes beyond intimacy. What's your thoughts on that?
No argument. No argument. I mean, I think great. I think I have favorable thoughts toward that. Let's take this.
So I want to kind of touch on another thing.
Okay.
So gender roles. Do you believe in gender roles in a relationship? So another person has said, look, I believe in gender roles. For the most part, they work. Though these roles can be relatively interchangeable, especially what is in this day and time, the blueprint of what has worked for years seems to be the most efficient practice. It's like wearing my husband's t-shirt. Can I? Yes. Obviously, it fits him better. Some of these gender roles are decided for us at almost a biological level. Women have a larger hippocampus than men, which deals with critical thinking, memorization, etc. Quite the coincidence that women generally fall into the roles of planners, remembering birthdays, events, less likely to choose fight in our fight or flight responses. That is what Miss Aaron said. Do you believe, right? Do you believe in gender roles?
I do. I believe in gender roles. I believe that. Now, I believe in gender roles. I don't believe that they're just delegated. And I'm going to use this word. I'm just making it active duties that only a woman should do, that a man should do. I don't believe in that. But I believe that each gender has an impact in society. I like that she broke that down about, the larger hippocampus and, yeah, I love all that, I'm going to tell you why, because men are logical thinkers.
Correct.
We're constantly on a quest to build, to establish, to enlarge. Okay, so we get focus driven, whereas a woman now enlarges our territory because she's now able to encompass or hold our vision. Now, are you talking about gender roles relegated as to what, a family, or just how broad is this gender role thing?
Well, see, so let's camp here for just a minute, because I think when you start really talking about like the modern woman, right? And like that's a beautiful term that's thrown out there right now, where a woman don't need a man for anything, and all that wonderful good stuff that's out there with it. I think that a lot of now personally, I don't believe in gender roles. I think that whomever in any capacity inside of the home, whoever does it better should do it.
So you're coming from, so that's why I was asking for some definition, because when we start talking, from my perspective, I'm looking at an overarching influence. So men have a role to influence, and women have that role capacity in the home as well. If we start talking about duties, I don't believe in that.
Well, I even say, so for instance, if you use it from let's use it from a spiritual perspective. If a woman is married to a man who does not know how to pray, or not, like whatever, and she's better at it, that doesn't mean that he can't evolve into that role, into it later on or whatever, or to like. I don't think that whomever. It doesn't matter to me what we do. Whomever is better at it should be doing it, and if that is the woman is a better leader and the husband is the better nurturer. Or, like in whatever role it is, I think that think about it today. So there's a lot of women who lead homes, and there's a lot of women who lead homes right now, and there are a lot of men who do not know how to lead homes, and there's vice versa. Don't get it twisted. Like there's plenty of women who do not know how to be wives, and plenty of men who know how to be husbands. So I'm not saying that. But a lot of times, like the role of the covering is castigated on the man. But if this woman meets a man who not necessarily knows how to cover a home in that capacity, but he is a way better nurturer inside the home. And he provides the nurturing and she provides the covering. I don't see anything wrong with that.
Who provides the covering? The latter part.
If he's providing the covering and he's providing the nurturing, because she's not very good at that, but the husband knows how to be a much better nurturer in the family, in the home. I don't see necessarily anything wrong with that.
Well, to a degree, so who determines whether the husband is a better or the wife is a better? Or are you following me? That's kind of okay. Well, and I guess that would be relative to that situation.
Correct.
But again, to say gender roles, I believe in gender roles. I believe that the role of a man and the role of a woman differ because that man is that influence, that direction, that protection, that provider, not limited to finances. So I'm going to just take that out. That provider of instruction and direction and vision for the home. And then the wife comes along and she helps to nurture it, brings life to it and form. And then them working together, disseminate that information and model it to the children. So I believe in that gender role. We talk about gender role. But now we're talking about duties again. I can
talk about duties. Stand there like.
So now if we're talking about, if you're alluding to personality, you talk about nurturing, discipline.
Mm-hmm. So like let's say protection. Let's say protection. For instance, let's use that there. Before I say that, describe to me what you mean by protection before I come down this other road. So what do you mean by protection?
Putting boundaries in place, or saying this is, see, I'm going to take it on the level of spirituality and not religion.
Got you. I'm with you.
And say, so it's going to be spiritual because they're religious people who are spiritual, not religious anyway. So yeah, this is a vision I think, for our family, I think would be great. I'd like, to hear your insight on that. Okay. Because I think that if that male is in that home, then his vision is always casting vision.
I agree with you. I don't want you to think that
it doesn't. Yeah.
But I just can't say that the man is the only person with the vision in him.
I don't think that he is the only person with the vision.
Okay, so I also don't think that he's the only one that can exact that vision inside the home.
I think that he should be the one with vision in the home, or else he shouldn't ask her to marry him without a vision.
Now, why people are married and doing things is different.
I'm just saying. So again, I'm coming from a spiritual perspective.
I got you. I think that I'm not all the way there when it comes to. I just think that there's women that can lead a home in that capacity, and I just don't want to
without a husband.
With a husband. Now, if am I saying that that's the best way to traditionally, I'm just saying that to me, there's no gender roles. Mm-hmm. If a woman is the one that can do it, then do it. Now, am I saying that that's how I'm going to do no, I'm just saying like in general, I think that if two people communicate effectively with one another as to the way that the home is going to go, there is no specific way that a role should be disseminated. Any role.
I see what you're saying, and that's where we get. Just I think it's probably just the semantics of the word role.
It could be,
but
could be semantics.
Yeah, seriously, because for me, again, I don't think it's the responsibility of any woman. Listen, I've worked with women and I've worked with couples, and they despise the man who they have to say, let's all pray together. We're going to do Saturday chores and this, that. And he's just sitting back and not saying anything. So, I mean, I believe in a gender role. But go ahead. What's next?
Okay. And we're going to move to the next one. But I want to say this too. So, in the same way that the women that you have that are saying that despise as men, trust me, there's plenty of men that's like, why are you not a nurturing, providing, this nurturing spirit flow? Why are you not adding to this home? Like it goes both ways. And that's more like kind of where my mindset is when it comes to like, because if I can complain about that, about the wife that's not doing the wifely thing.
Now we're starting to move into wifely things like roles. So let's
get out of here. So, last little quick point. So, what did we learn from our last relationship? I want to hit comments. Yeah, I want to hit one, and then I want to touch on it. So I don't want to be, I like to keep hit it and quit it. So, okay. But one came from a Jeremy. And she said, I learned that we cannot love the mental illness out of a person. And as for myself, I learned that healing is the only way to keep from repeating my own toxic patterns.
That's good. That's the only one that commented?
That's the only one that commented thus far. Got a lot of people that liked it and loved it and shared it, but didn't want to comment so far. So what's your thoughts on that? So what are your thoughts on what Jeremy said? And also, like, let's talk about your experiences and what did you learn from your last experience?
Well, to comment on what Jeremy said, which is great, you cannot love the the issues out of a person. For example, let's say a person has insecurities. Mm-hmm. Opposite of that, of course, with the word in is the word security. All right. Usually, security is, of course, it starts inward, but it's expressed outwardly. And when we say insecurity, that means negative security, but actually it's an inward security that's negative about yourself, right? Projected, you follow me? Which holds us hostage. So with that being said, it's great for a person to encourage, but until the individual who has the insecurity takes ownership and creates now means by which to deal with that or confront that insecurity, it will not, be eradicated or eliminated. What did I learn? I learned about myself was that I needed to be open-minded. I needed to be open-minded and not. I needed to be open-minded and practice love. Love is patient. That's what I say. I wasn't patient, bro. I wasn't patient. hey, listen. One of the questions people know of the 5 love languages, but they don't know of the apology language. And there are apology languages as well. And one of those apology languages is taking accountability. So I take accountability. I was impatient.
I love what Jeremy said as far as you can't love the mental illness out of someone. Our job is to be an example. I say this one thing all the time. I say unconditional love does not equal unconditional tolerance. And I can love you and not tolerate your behavior. And
Definitely.
I don't care if you have a mental illness. You having a mental illness does not preclude you, or not absolve you of all behaviors. If you love me, you will love yourself enough to get help during your mental situation. So if you don't love yourself enough to do that for us, then okay, I can walk away from the situation. I'm not going to just sit around and tolerate you acting in accordance to your mental illness. And and also love the fact that she said I had to learn for myself so that I did not continue to operate and continue my toxic patterns. So I love that. And so for myself, brother, I learned a lot. So like for myself, man, the craziest thing for myself was this. I really, really began to learn me. And I began to learn that I was not being me in my relationships. For 24 years, I was with one person. And I can assure you that I played a role. I was the interviewer or the interviewee for that whole time. I just I had to be, the preacher, and I had to be the person that was on somebody's arm, and I had to play all these other roles, but nerdy, quirky jokester Ben just didn't come out at all because that just wasn't the role he played.
Right.
That wasn't my role. And so I subjugated myself for a relationship. And like I wholeheartedly believe that scripture when it says, what is a profit a man to gain the world and lose his soul? There is no relationship worth losing yourself at all. And so I learned I'm not going to walk another day in a relationship that I just can't be free to be me. And whomever is going to be my next partner in life is going to love me to life. Like that's it.
And I like those things. Yeah, I like what you said, not losing yourself, I believe, correct? You alluded to that.
Yeah.
Not losing yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. And interestingly enough, I've said this before. Relationship is not ownership, and I think that's one of the misconceptions that people have, is that relationship is ownership. Relationship is the opportunity in its simplest form to get to know someone on a deeper level. I don't know if people really realize, but there's a lot going on in the cosmos and the world and in general, the atmosphere about love. It's a lot of touching on relationship. I don't know if people really realize it. And it's because we're that relationship represents the Most High. So there are a lot of people talking about it, but to actually demonstrate it, manifest it, execute it, walk it out, you have to have your ear attuned to the heart of the Most High. How do I love? And another thing too, as it relates to relationships, is that sometimes we try to do a one size fits all. I was talking to Alexis about this one time, the one size fits all. The application of love is so potent. Love is so potent that we have to be mindful as to how we apply that love. If we're operating from the higher essence of love, not from self-love. All right. It's not to take, it's to complement. How can I enhance your life? What is your vision? How can I enhance that vision? How do I fit into that person's life? That's what love love's desire is. It desires to give itself, not take. So to get in a relationship saying, you know what, man, that's a good fit right there. He could help me with this, or she could help me with that. Oh yeah. Ooh, that's not love.
Not at all.
Love says, you know what, listen, I've been working out. You know what I'm saying? I've been going through therapy. I'm ready to apply these principles, you know, and I know I've died to some things, and still yet, you know, I'm ready to apply this principle and share my higher self with this person. That's love.
Right. Absolutely. This has been a dope conversation.
Man, yeah, it's always, it's intense.
So, definitely want to, we appreciate everyone for some comments. Appreciate folks for jumping in and supporting. And we're going to hit you back up in a little bit with some more of your comments and whatnot. Definitely excited about.
Great comments, people. Thank y'all. Great comments.
Appreciate you all sincerely. Chris, you know, tell us about how anybody can reach you, sir.
Listen, everyone, again, my name is Chris. I'm the founder of Peaceable Solutions. I tell everyone Peaceable Solutions is my life. The programs I create is Love by Choice and Successfully You. And so if you want to reach out to me and just get some premarital, postmarital sessions in, you can reach out to me at 803-386-9842. Again, that's 803-386-9842. If you're looking for personal development to enhance your life, there are many tools I use when it comes to the couples. I have at least 4 assessments that I use for the couples. And as far as the individual, there's 1 assessment that I use. But you can go to my website, peaceablesolutions.com. Again, that's peaceablesolutions.com. And looking forward to helping you be the best you in this year.
Wonderful. Well, this is I Am Podcast Thursday Thoughts. Appreciate everyone checking in with us. We'll come together every couple of weeks, grab your comments, have a discussion, read them back to you. I'm excited about what the podcast is going to do. So listen, everybody out there, I want you to know our whole strive is for it to be better and not to be easy, because it's not easy, but we will be better. So be healthy, be wealthy, be wise, love you to life. And I promise you, I cannot wait to see you all next time.